So, in the year of 2023, there has been over 1,000 of children missing in the state of Ohio alone. Now, with that being said, there was recently just a huge bust on human trafficking in Ohio. It was called Operations Buyer's Remorse. So, with that being said, um, with all these missing kids in Ohio, you would think that the law enforcement would have some type of lead on all these missing kids so that some of these kids could be accounted for. But with all these 160 people being arrested, that is not the case. So let's get into it.
Hello, my name is Travis Washington. I understand police officers have a hard job. Police officers are first responders. As a city council members, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure the city feels safe. In this budget hearing, I understand that funding the police with the best budget possible will bring a sense of security in the city. My biggest problem is accountability. The names like Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Jacob Blake, Ayanna Jones, Daniel Shaver, Jalen Walker, Frederick Holder, and Dominic Lewis were individuals that were shot on arm by the police. In Milwaukee, the City Council voted on the legislation called the George Floyd Policing Act. The City Council voted to be put on record in support of the federal law of George Floyd Justice of Policing. It's not to be a law, it's to show that they support it. Hello, my name is Travis Washington. I am the creator of the Hands Up Act. It's a law where if a police officer shoots somebody in the arm, it's a mandatory 15-year prison sentence. I've received more than 2.7 million signatures. Michael Brown's mother has signed it. Anton Rose's mother has signed it. Andres Gosdora's mother has signed it. And Marcel Sinner's sister has also signed it. My goal is to push you aldermen to support the Hands Up Act legislation and be counted on record to support this, whether you support it or not, and to make sure that city of Indianapolis understands that you care about police accountability. Once again, my name is Travis Washington. I'm the Hands Up Act creator. Thank you.
So if y'all want to go support the Hands Up Act, you can go to change.org. All you have to do is type in Hands Up Act. And it will pop up, and basically all what that will do is give police officers a mandatory 15-year sentence if they shoot anybody with their hands up, because anybody with their hands up is surrendering and they're complying and they're not resisting. So any cop that shoots a person with their hands up will receive a mandatory 15-year sentence. Okay, so let's get into the topic at hand, right? So we're talking about this big so-called sex trafficking bus, right? This big sex trafficking bus in Ohio, and basically they arrested over 160 people, and it's called Operations Buyer's Remorse. So that's pretty much self-explanatory in the title, right? buyer's remorse. So basically, they're going after the tricks, right? Or what you would call the Johns. So, um, I'm about to play this video and we're about to get more into this. And I'm about to break this down as we go on how I really feel about this. And also in regards to all the missing children in the Ohio area as well. So it says Ohio Attorney General Dave Joyce is calling it Operations Buyer's Remorse, targeting sex buyers who create demand for human trafficking. Okay, so basically, you're going after the lower level people who are basically just buying the sex, um, instead of actually going after the people that are the root cause of this human trafficking, right? So, with this being said, right, what about the people that's controlling the trafficking? What about them? Who is controlling the trafficking? That's another question, right? Or these so-called victims of human trafficking, or are they being pimped out? Are they being bought and sold? Um, I have seen to on this article to where they said some of them was minors, but were the people also that engaged in these acts, were they aware that these were minors? And let's say this, right? Because I'm not defending these people in no way, shape, or form. But what I'm saying is, it seems silly to me to go after the grunt people, the people buying these men who just trying to buy some coochie. Let's put it that way. Instead of going after the people that's actually doing the trafficking. So who is doing this trafficking? Or these consenting adults who are engaging in this activity, or are they being pimped out, or what's going on? Because it says they are just targeting the sex buyers who create demand for human trafficking. So because there is a demand for it, they are going to get targeted. And I'm going to say this for the men out here who are doing this, because there was a lot of actually high caliber people involved in this sex trafficking bus, right? They said from like ages from 17 to, I don't know. I forgot what's the the max age, but the thing is though, right? It's like somebody who is having pain in their knee, and they go to the doctor, and the doctor say the reason why you're having pain in your knee is because um your back is not in line, or they say it's really back pain but you're just feeling it in your knee, and you go put on a knee brace. Basically that's just going after the symptom instead of the root cause of it. So what I'm getting at here is these law enforcement officers, they're just targeting the symptoms, which is these men that are buyers of this. It's not the root cause. It's not the people that are actually doing the trafficking, or the thing is, or these people even being trafficked, but they are just actually consenting adults. But because law enforcement came to them and said, "Hey, we're going to give you these we're going to give you all these perks if you just say you are a victim of human trafficking, whether you're a consenting adult doing this, you can still get rewarded for saying, hey, I was involved in human trafficking, and you help the police officer catch some of these dudes that's out here looking to buy some coochie." So let's keep going. Now, I will say this: that statement is somewhat true, right? My issue is you're just targeting the man. You're not targeting the root cause of this, right? And he is right. If somebody is out here buying coochie, right, and they don't know who they're getting it from, they're just dealing with some random lady. They don't know who this lady is. They don't know if she is a victim of human trafficking. They don't know, is she a minor or not. um in most cases, because some of them could lie about their age, right? So in somewhat shape or form, yes, if you are out here buying coochie, you are risking yourself, in, you're putting your career, your family, and everything else on the line just to buy some coochie, right? And you could be indirectly or directly involved in human trafficking by doing that, because you don't know who these ladies are that you're dealing with. So I do agree with him on that point. But the thing is, it's just like, okay, you're attacking the symptoms, you're attacking the grunts. Who are these trafficking kingpins? Who is in charge of these operations as far as running traffickings? Who are getting these women to do this, if someone is doing that? Who are coercing these women to do this? Says Yost's office oversees 8 human trafficking task forces with nearly 100 law enforcement agencies participating in the statewide sting. So this is a statewide sting all over Ohio. And this mainly dudes just trying to buy some coochie. Okay, so we talking about the traffickers will move the victims. Who are these traffickers? Because it seems like y'all just going after the tricks. But who are the traffickers though, right? Why are they not getting arrested? Why is it very vague when it comes to them? But for the tricks, the buyers, y'all have all the smoke in the world for. Like, the traffickers are the root cause of this. It says John ranging in age from, hold up, among those arrested during the week long operation were Johns ranging in age from 17 to 84. So Johns is basically what you would call a trick, and it's from age 17 to 84, all seeking to buy six. So they trying to buy some Gucci. Dang, they driving 4 or 5 hours just for it. That's wild. Okay. So my question again is this, right? So where are the people that's actually trafficking these women, right? Where are these people? Because I'm not hearing anything about that. Where are these people that's doing this? Are these women consenting adults? Like they are very vague when it comes to this. And the thing is, what prompted me to even do a video talking about this is because I seen somebody mention this, and I can't. The first thing I did was connected it to all the missing kids in Cleveland because it was like over 1,000 missing kids in Cleveland. So I'm thinking, okay, they probably got a lead on this. They know what's going on. Some of these children are going to be accounted for, but that was not the case. They just trying to catch some tricks, trying to buy some sex. And as it says right here, operations buyers remorse resulted in 160 arrests of those seeking to buy sex, and 104 potential victims were encountered and referred to services. So again, let's talk more about these victims, right? Um, who was trafficking these victims? Who were in charge of these victims? Who was running the show here? Like I said, that's like putting a brace on your knee when the main source is the back issue. You need to get your back checked out or go to a chiropractor, whatever. That's what's caused your knee pain. But instead of doing that, you just put a brace on your knee. That's not going to fix the overall issue. So and like I said before, I can most definitely agree with that, right? You're going out, you're carelessly buying some coochie from some random women, right? Because you're just trying to get some sex. But a lot of these people that you're dealing with could be involved in human trafficking and you not know it because you don't know that much about these people, right? The dudes that's out here doing this, they don't know that much about these people and they're really willing to risk it. And the thing is that yes, they are right about that, you know. These could be minors and you not know it. These could be victims of actually sex trafficking or human trafficking under somebody's provision, and they actually have to do that for a living in order to bring back money, basically being pimped out. And then you have consenting adults that's doing it just so they can make some money. Like, let's keep it a buck here. And it says Yost and the partner law enforcement agencies want to spread the message Ohio is watching. No, you're not watching, because you have thousands of missing kids that are still unaccounted for, that nobody said anything about. Um, where or these kids, where are they getting accounted for? Right? You haven't said anything about them. You haven't said anybody that is the root cause of this, that is doing the trafficking. You haven't had said any of that, right? You haven't said any of that. So let's continue. Let's continue. Says we'll do anything that we can do to help you, except for actually arrest the people that's doing the trafficking, or actually go after the people that's in charge. You giving them all these incentives, but you're not going after the people that's in charge of this. You haven't even mentioned them not one time. That's weird to me. And like I said, I can agree with that. But why not find them as well? Where is this third person? Where is your efforts to go after them as well? Like, what is the root cause of this? You're just going after a symptom. False, because people still gonna try to do what they do regardless. Even if it wasn't a demand, they still gonna try it. They still gonna try to do it, because the thing is, where it's a demand for, and the main people that's actually involved with this are in law enforcement. You have some people that are politicians that are involved with this. And I'm talking about involved in the higher levels, not just on this level where they just trying to buy some sex. I'm talking about involved in the level to where they're actually trafficking and um kidnapping and selling women bodies for sex, or pimping out women, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of higher up names that are involved with this. So that's one of the reasons why I don't think that they're actually trying to go after the actual trafficking people. 160 arrested statewide, 104 potential survivors, and it says 11 massage part of search warrant served. So you do have a lot of these massage parlors that's doing stuff on the side, doing a little something, something on the side, and a lot of these will serve warrants. There are 104 survivors or victims, which could actually be most definitely these, you know, depend on the situation, right? Because it's multiple angles you can look at this from. Um, yes, there is actually people that go through human sex trafficking and human trafficking and all that, and then there's some that were consenting adults that were involved in this, right? That were actually involved with this, that should reap the same type of punishment as what you would call these jobs or these tricks. They should have the same type of punishment as well if they're willfully selling it, because though they shouldn't get incentivized if they were willingly doing it. And the thing is, um these articles, they use buzzwords for shock value. So a lot of these women, they could have seen the benefits and been like, hey, I'm getting all this. If I just say I'm a human trafficking survivor, even if I was a consenting adult, even if I was a consenting adult, and now I'll be able to get these benefits. Now, on the other hand, you do actually have people that were involved in human trafficking, and they should be able to get the full extent of the benefits. Um, Dealing with any type of minor, or just if these dudes purposely know that these are victims, um, yes, of course they should get the full extent of the law. And then, like they even said, um, if you're a man out here and you're out here trying to buy sex, you can easily get involved with that because you don't know what lady you're talking about. Like they said, it could be a third person. They could be waiting in the closet. They could be waiting in the alley. It could be a third person involved with the trafficking, and you don't even know it. They can be a minor, and you don't even know that. That's why that is dangerous. It's not even worth risking your little money trying to get your rocks off. Because yes, that is true. But where's the equal accountability? That's all I'm saying. And why you so why are you going after just the tricks or the johns when it's bigger fish to fry? Like, where are all these kids at? Who is in charge of that? Who is leading that, to where all these kids are just randomly ended up missing in their teens? They're like from the ages like 12 to 17. Thousands of kids missing in a year. Where is that to account for? But let's keep going. Operations by Remorse, as you can see it there. So yeah, um, as you can see, they launched that big human trafficking bus. And I'm thinking it's gonna have something to do with all the kids that's missing, but it really didn't have anything to do with that. So let me share this with y'all real quick. More than 1,000 kids reported missing in Ohio this year, an extraordinary surge. Children are disappearing for northern Ohio in record numbers, with more than 1,000 minors reported missing so far this year. More than 45 children have gone missing in Cleveland, Akron area this month alone. And in August, there were more than 35 missing minors, according to the Ohio Attorney General's. Hmm. Excuse me, y'all. I'm kind of tired. I'm not kind of. I am tired. But let's let's get into it. There were more than 35 missing minors, according to Ohio Attorney General Missing Children's website. The disappearances are creating a disturbing trend in northern Ohio, which began in May when nearly 30 children went missing in the first 2 weeks. This is 30 children in 2 weeks. Like, instead of trying to bust tricks, like, where y'all at with trying to find these kids? Officials at the time called it an extraordinary surge in disappearances. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost repeated on Monday that the number of missing children is alarming, though he claimed the figures may be inflated due to inconsistencies in updated reports, which Cleveland police have admitted to in the past. Yes, of course, we are worried about the that now that we know when we look behind the numbers, some of those represent repeated runaways and local police have talked about. He added that data for runaway cases, abductions, or sex trafficking is not always entered correctly as the state deals with a police staffing shortage. So it seems like in a case like these with all these kids and stuff missing, right? He's coming with a lot of excuses. He's being a lot more lenient. He's being a lot more understanding when it comes to missing kids. But when it comes to dudes just want to trick off their money or whatever, it's a huge big issue. All of these things have localized reporting problems that again are a function of local conditions. Joe said we do our best to encourage compliance and improve systems to remove barriers, but at the end of the day, we have to rely on local partners that we don't control. Yeah, I didn't. That sound like an bologna sandwich. Like, he didn't even say anything that was tangible in that sentence. Like, what is all that supposed to mean? I am fearful of all kind of things that fall through the cracks. That include missing children. Yost added, I rely on tenacity of worried parent more than I do a hurried, hurried bureaucrat whose job is to put data into a computer. But John Major, president of Cleveland Missing, and the police chief of Newburgh Heights previously sounded the alarm on certain missing children. For some reason, in 2023, we've seen a lot more than we normally see, which is troubling, in part because we don't know what's going on with some of these kids, whether they're being trafficked or whether they're involved in gang activity or drugs. He told Fox, excuse me, y'all, told Fox News back in May, adding that he has not seen such a high number of missing children before the 33-year career. So I'm not really going to go through and read all this, but the thing is, if they can put all their energy in the sting operations to arrest all these tricks, where's the same energy with these kids and the people that's involved in trafficking these kids? Where's that same energy? Why is that not being put forth? Like I said, there was a lot of excuses. Um I seen y'all being a lot more lenient towards that than y'all was against just tricks trying to buy some Gucci. And I stated my stance on that, right? On why I said that was dangerous as well, because you could be involved in trafficking doing that. But we just the normal dude trying to buy some coochie or whatever. That's different than actually um kidnapping a kid or whatever, kidnapping minors, having them do things against their will. Like that's the thing. Because if you think about it, right? You think about it. Say you have a consenting adult, and these men are dealing with consenting adults, right? And she said, "Hey, I'm a victim of sex trafficking. These dudes, they've been using, they've been abusing me. And I want the compensation. I want the full package of whatever you give the sex trafficking victims." A lot of women can use that as a finesse. A lot of self-participating women, um, consenting adults, could use this as a way to come up and just wrongfully target man, and then on top of that, come up off of it. Because all they have to say is, "Hey, I'm being trafficked." Even if they were a consenting adult, and say you have these um high name dudes, so they doing positive stuff in the community. They they hard workers, they're business owners, they're getting stuff popping in the community. Say they do make that mistake of trying to go buy some coochie or whatever, right? And they get caught up in this thing operation, and the lady that's actually doing it, she's a consenting adult that's actually selling her body for money, and that's illegal in itself. But instead of her getting punished as well, that person, he will have to deal with public scrutiny, and he's going to have to deal with the full extent of the law. Now, on the other hand, actual trafficking, that's horrible, right? Anybody that's actually kidnapping um kids or women, holding them against their will, abusing them, doing any type of any anything like that, right? They should be held to the full extent of the law. They should receive that maximum punishment for the people who are doing that. So yeah, it's just weird to me that they're not trying to find the root of this cause, right? And it's the same governor who's said something about the missing children, but he seemed to have a lot more smoke for tricks going about some sex or whatever than he does for actual missing children. That's the issue that I have. He's not trying to go for the actual traffickers, the actual people that's the root of this issue. So that's my problem. But yeah, it was a random topic. I seen it come across my For You page on TikTok. Seen multiple people talking about this. So I thought I should go ahead and get my 2 cents on it. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Peace.